favoring still running that older Reinhardt Zarya Goat style composition. What teams are trying to run the new Sombra style. How much Doomfist we're seeing, which we saw quite a bit of already in that previous series.
Here we go. Counting down the seconds as we get ready to jump into this one. Australia at the moment.
And we know that
there's going to be any last second flips, but going to be seeing the Pharah.
Yeah, we know that Australia really does favor the Pharah quite a bit, and they will be putting Custa on the Mercy to pair with that here. So that's going to be their opening here against Spain, running the more traditional Goats. That Moira as the support here with this one. No Ana.
Trill at the moment just going to be zapping away, trying to break through those shields. Doc's going to go low, and actually CKM from the backside with the Pharah is going to go ahead and find that angle for the rocket, and now they have a really awkward situation where Trill is applying that pressure from the front, and they have that threat of the Pharah in the back. Rockets raining down already, almost has that barrage now going to be online. Fantastic build time here for CKM, but he can just go ahead and hold on to it, it would seem. Line Pro pushing forward, Rockets coming down, still alive here for the moment. Barrage going to get popped, doesn't have a great angle now. Now he's going to be isolated. And he will get taken down, only finds the one kill there onto Harry Hook, and now it's going to be a swing around here for Spain as they turn this on its head and look for that first cap.
Yeah, the initial pick on the Lucio was so huge for Australia, but once Doc got back into the fight, got back to the mix, they had the extra sustainability. It's so strong against Pharah when you don't have that burst. CKM held the barrage very long because you're looking for the ideal barrage there, but it never really came, and as you said, he got isolated there. He was alone looking for that god tier barrage. They have a nano boost now to try to lead this point, though, if they want to have Trill run in and push through.
Nearly has the primal range online, but Network's also building up, looking for that Earth Shatter. Will have it. The EMP comes down from Hudson. It's going to be Doc dying off the back yet again. Trill pushing forward, holding on to the primal for now. Network's down to half HP. Shatter comes out. Trill going to get stunned up. Kicks back up, however, and has not been taken down. Punk eliminated, but Network's traded out, so no Diva, no line for each side. CKM going to be eliminated. Poppy Fresh on that hit. Trill looking for the knockoff here onto the Moira. Harry Hook being sustained by his orb. Fades out, keeps himself alive in the fight. Spain is still in control of this point. Res comes down. CKM's going to be popped back in. Graviton Surge going to be online, and they might not have to use it.
It doesn't look like it.
Turned down. Right clicks come through, they finish him off, and Spain maintain control.
And that's so unfortunate for Huss, who gets that staggered kill. He wanted to just build as much of another EMP as he could have, but now they're staggered out here, looking for the respawn. Poppy Fresh, because he can hold on to this grab, can use it in the choke point, and it's super predictable where Australia will be heading in. They're going to switch Huss over to the Doomfist here because they did not build an EMP. They're running out of time. They're going to try to burst through, open up this fight with the Doomfist, then Pharah can get into position, but it's going to be so difficult. Rally almost ready here for Line Pro. That's going to give them a lot of extra defense here. Here it comes. So he tosses that out. Now they have all that extra armor.
Yeah, getting that instant pop onto somebody with that Doomfist now going to be that much more difficult, especially for those supports who normally would be very vulnerable. Custa goes low, dashes his way out, trying to stay alive. Graviton Surge still going to be set and ready, tosses it one in, but it's not going to happen. Tower comes through, and now they're going to be pushing forward. The sound barrier is there to answer from the side of Spain. Doc just tossing that one down, keeping everybody alive. Trill trying to play up front, trying to get that primal rage online. 70% just about for him, but Huss is going to be the first one taken down as Bromas finds the opening hit, and now it's going to be the sports falling there after. CKM gets one with a barrage, but we're in the OT. Self-destruct going to be thrown down here by Bromas. Makes it back into the mech, Pump all on his lonesome charges forward, but he is a lonely and lowly Diva. Will get taken down, and that's going to be the first round of Lijiang Tower going over to Spain.
And a very well played defense there. Going into the spawn room, kind of scouting out, seeing if there were any swaps coming through, slowly kind of kiting back to the point. And Poppy Fresh had that grab, and it almost went off. There was a lot of coordinated attempts there to knock Punk out of the mech and then toss that through. Just a little bit mistimed there, but even still, even with the grab not connecting, they had so much sustainability. And if the Pharah is not able to get insta-picks, you know, the Pharah damage is slow over time, and when you're running a Moira and a Lucio against that, plus a Brigitte who's going to be ticking up heals at the same time, you know, the Pharah doesn't always work if it can't get into the perfect positions. We saw CKM multiple times look for those big grabs, or excuse me, big barrages. Let's see if it works out better this time, as they're going to stay with this composition. Spain, on the other hand, swapping Line Pro over to, switching Harry Hook over to the Zenyatta.
Oh, shots coming down from above. Doesn't find anything with the concussive blast. Was hoping for a knockoff. That would have been quite nice. Tracer will be coming out from Poppy Fresh this time as they stray away from the Goats. Looking for another knockback, but Trill's going to be the first one to fall. Does get the hit there onto Doc. Takes him down.
Another early pick on Lucio, just like the previous point. Let's see if they can actually capitalize this time.
Yeah, now pushes in, gets rid of the Tracer. This is a good look here for Australia. Not nearly as fast of a build-up on the barrage, but CKM still going to be very effective here. Looks for another boop off, doesn't find Harry Hook. He manages to stay on. And yeah, they are not on the point. As you say, the first cap getting ready to come through from Spain. They're going to go ahead and lock this one down. Australia, even with the superior number of kills coming through, cannot get that initial pick.
This tank composition that Spain is running is just so much stickier on the point when you have the Brigida as well. It's really easy to sustain through. Look at how Trill's leading this fight, trying to get those backline picks. Harry Hook's positioning so good here, though.
Yeah, just trying to hide around the corner, manages to keep himself alive. The armor pack's coming down. It's going to be a Kraken eliminated here, so Australia going to have to take this one a little bit slower. Custa does have the res, pops that one off. Transcendence coming down from Harry Hook as they charge forward. Poppy Fresh going to be eliminated, but they trade back there onto a Kraken. The Ana going to be out of the mix yet again. Now Husk goes down. CKM pops that barrage, finds one there onto Line Pro, but Spain are still sustaining. Networks go so damn low, but he just finally pops that Primal Rage, keeps himself alive in the fight, and they maintain control over this point. Australia floundering right now on this approach.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate here. They're just not able to find a way in. Husk gonna, switch over the Sombra, look to build an EMP. CKM just trying to build that barrage right now, but he's so far away from it. And this is going to take a long time to come online without that EMP. Australia's in some serious trouble here.
Yeah, and now Kraken, he's fairly isolated. CKM, however, comes in to alleviate some of the pressure. It's going to be an exchange on the Winstons as they go down on both sides. Custa goes forward, gets the res off, puts Trill back into the mix. Australia now going to have the man advantage. Self-destruct comes down from Promes, however, and he gets two. CKM and Punk both going to be going down. Spain still maintaining control. They get the cleanup kills off the back of that, and Australia, they might be looking at 100-0 here again.
I know it may be, and Huss is going to have that EMP if he can just build it up there, but there's no real follow-up here with Punk not having the self-destruct. CKM, even if he has a barrage, your EMP does not guarantee that's going to do damage. You have to be in the right position. Poppy Fresh tracking the bar right now, just knowing where he is, communicating with Spain as to how they can deny that.
Push forward here onto the front of the pulse bomb's ready to go. Oh, Poppy Fresh, yeah, you don't want to do that. Has a recall to go ahead and spares the blushes coming through. Pulse bomb comes in, finds Trill, eliminating him before he can get the primal rage done. I don't know if Custa's going to be able to get in position to try to get the res. He goes forward, he tries to get one off, but it's not going to happen. Does end up getting pushed back.
Okay, there it is.
Does manage to find three. Line Pro and Network's all going to be going down. They get the pop out there onto the Diva, and Australia finally has gained control over the point, but it is a long way to the top if they want to get this win, tie things up on Lijiang.
And that's just really good communication. They were able to get CKM into position with the EMP and the barrage together, abusing the fact that Spain's comp has to be a little bit more tight-knit. Everyone has to be basically on top of each other. So you can see Huss is actually just going to gain a ton of information here as well as just build a little bit more of that EMP.
Yeah, playing forward, they're actually going to commit the primal rage with this one too as Drill goes in.
Now CKM just trying to chip away as they rotate around the right side here with that speed boost.
Saying, hey, what's up, guys? Spot them out, 33% for Australia. A third of what Spain has here at the moment, but Huss finds a nice opening pick. Poppy Fresh going to be going down. Self-destruct is here to buy some space onto the point, should Punk need it, or if he's going to get knocked out of the back, just to try to make it back in. Push forward here from Promes. He's now got his own self-destruct online. Transcendence as well here from Harry Hook going to be available. Punk's going to go ahead, dumps the ult, looking for a pick. Not going to find it and won't make it back into the mech as he gets taken down. Network's going to be exchanged out. This team's going to be losing out onto one of their tanks. Self-destruct coming through, finds the pick there onto a Kraken, takes him down. Another barrage from CKM, but this time it's not going to be effective. He gets taken out. Harry Hook finds the kill onto the enemy Para. Another post bomb sitting here for Poppy Fresh. Can't use it, however, as he does get hacked out. That EMP comes down from Huss. They pick up the kill onto the enemy Tracer. Australia desperately trying to maintain control. If they surrender this one, Spain would almost certainly be taking Lijiang Tower with a 2-0. And now you can see the flip getting ready to come through. They move off the point for just a moment, but they go back in. They force that overtime ticking in, and Australia just have to stream in, but there's still 3 members dead. Trill goes in, doesn't have a primal rage to buy some time.
It's just one by one they're coming in. There's no way to really turn this.
Yeah, it's CKM and Custa just trying to push forward, but Custa's going to be taken down with no further heals going forward onto the Pharah. He will also fall. Australia, one after the other, is really all that they can do. Poppy Fresh is holding that pulse bomb, waiting for that Winston to come back in. He might not get an opportunity. Jump over to the side. Primal coming out from Networks, just trying to get the smack off here onto a Kraken. Pulse bomb coming down. Not going to get the kill. As Australia keeps trying to keep this one in contention, but yet again, one after the other, just going to be going down. Trill pops the primal rage, tries to stay sustained. Gets a little bit of healing coming through, but will get taken down in the end. Res comes out from Custa onto a Kraken. Probably wishes that he still had that one available for the Winston, as they just keep on this one, but Spain is 6-man strong at the moment here. As I say that, though, Harry Hook will get taken down. Line Pro duking it out against the Kraken, and he will have the help of Poppy Fresh there to go ahead, get that victory, and now with the self-destruct kills coming in, the double there from Vermass. They'll go ahead and close this one out. 2-0 victory on Lijiang Tower. Spain pick up the first map in the series.
Despite Australia's best attempts to get that stagger kill, you know, and try to survive there and outlast, they basically just ended up buying time. It was valiant attempts, mind you, but you know,
Custa.
Yes, exactly. you took the words out of my mouth, but honestly, there was just some really good plays there from Spain. The sound barrier from Doc well timed to make sure, just in case that CCAM wasn't focused down there, the Farah barrage wouldn't be as effective. They had consistent rallies up. And I think the really big turning point there, if we could rewind back, is when the D.Va self-destruct was used for Punk. Didn't get any value. He was unable to re-mac. And then from then on, you know, they didn't really have any big tools to pair with an EMP that wasn't ready. The barrage and the EMP weren't synced up there, which is not a fault of Australia. It's just that when you get to that point in a map like that, you're basically going to lose the map if you don't look for a fight, if you don't toss out the barrage. You can't wait for that extra 20% of the EMP. But Spain just had always the advantage with how they use their ultimates. Their old usage was better paired. Yeah. And unfortunately, the Farah, as best as Australia tried to use it, wasn't good enough.
I'd say credit where it's due. They lasted a lot longer in extending that map than I really anticipated. I thought it was going to be, you know, maybe like 25 seconds or so. They really dragged it out, but unfortunately for them, not able to get that flip. So Spain does start off quite strong with that 1-0 victory that they have here at the moment. We said that it's probably going to be a bit scrappy. It's absolutely scrappy. This is what we're getting. They are certainly delivering on that expectation. They're giving us a lot to yell about, and I do appreciate that. So thank you so much, Spain and Australia.
And when we talk about control, that's the map type that actually does end up being the scrappy, crazy one. Yeah. And it's very easy for Spain to run the type of composition they were running on Lijiang Tower and on any control map in general. And it's, if you don't want to match that, as clearly Australia did not, then you try to run your counter, and it becomes very clean cut, I think, in what two teams are trying to do, but the fights become scrappy, right? When we move into hybrid, for example, though, that's when things get a little bit more complex. You can't just say, well, they're running this and we have the answer with this. You have to figure out positioning, where they're staying on the defense on point A. King's Row can be very clean cut if we end up going to that map, but for the rest of the maps, it gets a lot more complex. And obviously, Australia will have map choice here. Yeah. So I think that things could change quite significantly as we move into more, I guess, complex map types moving into hybrid.
And I'm wondering if they would go for something like the King's Row, because they already showed that they're not running the GOATS comp. They went for the FAR to try to counter it. It didn't work out so well. It was a really good start, especially on Night Market, but in the end didn't work out. So not sure if they would take us to something like that. Maybe go for a different style map, such as like a Nimbani, which we don't see a whole lot of, but that's not really a map where the GOATS comp will excel. Yeah,
it's more dive-oriented, right? And it's really clear that Australia had a plan, and their first plan was to kill Doc, the Lucio in this case, and they focused him down twice. So they were like, okay, half your healing's gone now. You've lost your mobility with this, so now we can win the longer fight because the sustain is gone, and I think that's basically what they were trying to do, but they were only able to get him on approach to point twice, and then otherwise he was just too well protected. So maybe, discussion right now before we pick map is, we prepared counter strats to what's strong on Lijiang Tower and obviously potentially King's Row if they wanted to pick it. But maybe they're just still too good at figuring out how to deal with what we've run so far, so maybe they want to change it up and go to something like the Nimbani that you mentioned, or something like a Hollywood.
Yeah. Only time will tell. Still waiting. Go ahead and get into that second game, see who is going to, maybe even if we're going to have a tie-up on the series, or if we're just going to have the match point locked in here from Spain with a very strong 2-0 start, try to force that reverse sweep from Australia and maybe give us a tiebreaker, since it looked like we were almost going to have one in the first series.
Yeah,
but
it did look close.
Didn't quite get there. Would have been a really nice way to start things off here at the Bangkok stage if we just go ahead and have that tiebreaker. Would have just shown how nitty-gritty these matches really are going to be throughout the weekend, but fortunately didn't happen. But maybe match two can go ahead and deliver on that.
Yeah, I mean, we had a lot of 4-0s in Incheon. Obviously, it's just speaking from our experiences there, but already our first series nearly tiebreaker. They did bring it back on Rialto, taking that map, and this first map I don't think is indicative of where this series is going, but it's been really cool to be here in Thailand. I mean, the crowd has been very, very hyped, and not even in the previous series very excited when even Thailand was losing some of those team fights, getting very hyped up, yelling. and getting excited. So that's been something that I've really enjoyed. I've only been one series here, but it's, you know, Friday. It's fairly early in the morning, but we still got a lot of people coming down here and rooting for the home team, as well as just rooting for awesome Overwatch here, because it's, you know, the biggest Overwatch event we've ever had in Thailand. So that's really cool to me, and that's part of what the exciting thing about this World Cup stage is, where we go to different stops, different regions, and now, you know, Bangkok, we get to have this massive Overwatch event these fans have not really been able to see yet.
Yeah, I mean, not only that, but they also get the, you know, they get the words are tough. Good God, I need more coffee, it would seem. But you also get the contenders final here as well. So get to have a little bit of extra action coming in on top of the World Cup. So extra exciting for the fans who have turned out here today. Yeah,
you know, we talked about Custa a little bit earlier. He's obviously he's doing the kind of map decision here, you have to imagine, communicating with his team quite a bit. And we did talk with him pretty extensively, as we get an opportunity to talk to all them before the group stage actually begins, to kind of get their thoughts on the meta, et cetera, et cetera. But, you know, Australia was a team that really stood out to me as a team that knows that, given, you know, their locations globally, like, you know, they have some ping problems with scrims with other locations, right? When you're trying to scrim against, say, Korean teams from Australia, it's not always the most ideal setup.
Yeah.
But despite that, you know, they put a ton of work in, and they are working to kind of play comps that they could scrim well, despite that kind of adversity they faced, again, scrimming against teams outside of Australia. And, you know, I think that what we saw already in Game 1 was really good execution of a plan, especially to kill Doc right at the beginning. And I think that this series is by no means swinging massively after that first map. But what I do want to say, though, is looking at this matchup, everyone was massively saying Spain is the underdog. Everyone's saying Australia could get out of this group stage. Like, you know, most people are looking at Spain as kind of a dark horse. I think we might have to change expectations a little bit after watching that first map.
Yeah, I think that the title of dark horse is going to be shifting around to a couple different teams. Sure. A lot of people were saying Denmark coming into this one, and things were looking a little bit rough for them in that first series. But maybe it will actually be, you know, flipping around to a couple different teams. This is so impossible to predict which teams are going to be coming out on top, because, I mean, we've heard talking to a lot of the teams, like, a lot of people are worried about China, and then other teams think that, you know what, I don't think China's going to be that much of a threat. So there's no clear-cut thing. It's not like the last World Cup stage where everyone's like, well, South Korea is obviously the team to beat. It's so up in the air. It's so back and forth, and man, okay, we're going to have Blizzard World selected by Australia.
There's a lot of different ways that, you know, Point A is going to operate similarly to Lijiang Tower, but you have the potential for Junkrat defense. But when we go into the streets phase, there's going to be a lot of sniper play as well. So this map is going to operate very, very differently than Lijiang in general, and obviously very different from King's Row, which is one of the maps we were thinking that Australia might have taken us to if they wanted to prepare that counter composition. Spain, at the moment, locking in the Junkrat we were talking about, but yeah, I was expecting Lion Pro to probably head back over to the Brigida, and they will have this from the start of things, from the look of things, a somewhat counter dive set up here with the Ana. Very powerful against both dive and against something like a, you know, quad tank, triple tank approach from Australia, because Ana's so versatile, and she empowers, in this meta, Winston so much with a new nano boost. It's crazy what Networks would potentially be able to do here. So I like it.
It's still very unique coming out from Spain on this defense. Junkrat was one of the things that we were kind of thinking would be guaranteed in this defensive composition, but they're really straying away from that one, going for, you know, depending on which way you want to cut Brigida, whether it's a, you know, 3-2 or whatever, plus the Tracer, it's interesting to see. So we'll have to see if Poppy Fresh is going to be able to get into that back line and get the pick-offs here onto the supports of Australia, or maybe even find a kill onto the likes of Punk. But we'll go ahead. Oh, now he's going to flip it around, just looking for that Sonic Arrow, of course.
Yep.
Now, going to be charging forward.
Huss is going to try to get some more information, look for a backline hack that can lead to a lot of ult charge built here for Spain, or excuse me, for Australia, as they get into the backline here. Seeing where Brigida is positioned, giving that information to CKM.
Now spotting out the Zenyatta here up top, Airy hook.
They're going for him
through. Get the hits, and Punk has the follow-up. They go ahead and run him down. No Zenyatta available now, Australia. Can they push forward? Can they capitalize on top of this? They charge in. Line Pro going to be going down already. Two of the supports going to be falling. Knock out onto the mech here for Punk. As they just keep zapping away, but Networks will fall low. Trill will take him down. Falls to about half HP, but the heals come back in. CKM building up for that blade, already going to be at about 76%. He dashes through, gets that reset, takes down Bromas. And that is going to be the cap coming in. So Australia, clear game plan, ready to go. Spain, not prepared at all for this.
It's incredible execution of a well-prepared strategy, using Huss to gain a vision advantage over Spain, to know where they were going to be standing, where Harry Hook was, where Lion Pro was able to identify they were standing apart from each other, and just calls out the dive. And this comp dives so well, and they get those insta pickoffs. And look at Harry Hook, 25% of ult charge is not ideal. It's not where he wants to be.
Yeah, absolutely not. Stick coming through from Bobby Fresh will be able to go ahead and get rid of a Kraken. So you know Rez going to be available here. So maybe slowing up Australia just a slight little bit, but they still haven't even rounded the corner yet.
The scary thing is, if they can kill Lion Pro with the Dragon Blade and dive him first, there's no real counter to what the Blade is capable of here for Australia. So that's what's really scary for Spain right now. They need to be very aware of that. Lion Pro needs to live. Here's the EMP to open it up.
Yeah, tosses that one down. Something's going to be invested as well from Punk. Able to pick off, but not going to have it in time. Not going to be finding any kills, but now Sleeman coming in with the sleep dart, connects it on to CKM. You said they don't really have that many other options, but there's one.
That's one.
Your best J-Hawk impersonation. They will be able to run him down the Nano the Blade. It's not going to get Jack. And now True will also fall. Spain finally gaining control over this card.
It's very telegraphed what Australia did, but it's still so hard to stop. Perfect dart there, though. Shuts down everything Australia was just trying to do, and got about 4 ultimates out of it as well. Custa's going to swap over to the Mercy, but just one sleep dart could shut down a whole plan. The Nano on the Genji, the sound barrier that was preemptively used there. They thought it was going to be the best opportunity, knowing Harry would not have a Transcendence, but the sleep is all you need if you can hit that.
Oh, he's waiting. I see your translocator. I'm ready for you.
Got it.
All right, just goes ahead and takes it down. Just trying to see if he was going to pop back. Not going to happen.
Yep. Perhaps his team calling out that Huss was getting low and that maybe he was going to try to come back, but this eliminates that retreat path here.
Oh, CKM going to get taken down. Doc finds the hits, just sniping him out of the sky. Spray coming in. Bobby Fresh still just holding on to this pulse bomb. Has not felt the pressure or the need to use it, but now might have to, as Networks will get taken down. Punk finding the kill there onto the enemy Winston and Trill. With that Primal Rage up, just trying to stay alive.
Now Bromas here just kind of backing off. The point is controlled by Australia now. Very early self-destruct here for Punk, and it doesn't work with the EMP.
Yeah, they go ahead and throw the EMP in the back end of that. Lion Pro will still get taken down, so not going to be a waste. Harry Hook going to pop that Transcendence, try to keep everybody else alive. And the barrage is now ready to go. CKM going to drop in, throws that one straight in on top of Networks' head. Will be able to get him, has a kind of follow him up into the sky, and then gets a follow-up shot there onto Bobby Fresh, getting rid of the Tracer. Cart going to be moving forward still. Just, sub 3 minutes on the clock here for Australia. Still fantastic time being made despite the nice little hold that we saw from Spain.
Yeah, although that's
that very
quick
fast
time
cap on it really set them up.
Exactly. Getting that early cap gives you so many opportunities to run different compositions and try to look for different setups here. Dog gets that armor there from the Brigitte, stays alive. Lion Pro gets that kill onto Punk, so finally Spain will retake this.
Yeah, Networks playing forward as the zaps coming down, gets rid of the enemy Ana, and honestly probably could have held on to this Primal Rage. That's thinking that there was going to be a follow-up fight to come through, but fortunately for him, will just be a bit of a waste.
Yeah, I think that might have just been an actual mistake, like a misclick, basically. But I do want to point out that Australia has been trying to do so much of these coordinated complex pushes, like the self-destruct into the EMP, etc., and they have missed the mark a few times, but it's incredible what they are attempting to do, and it doesn't mean that, Spain is going to be able to shut it down this consistently every time if the execution is perfect, but I think Australia is really on the cusp of starting to hit their stride here. EMP ready for Huss, going to toss down immediately.
Yeah, straight into the back of the tank. Seriously, look for the follow-up hit. CKM with another barrage. Process his 180 for the hit. Going to be finding the kill outside of the break onto Bromas' mech. Self-destruct however from Punk will take down Doc. 2 effective openings here for Spain as Bromas looks to get finished off right as he gets that remech available. And Bobby Fresh will join him in the grave. So Australia is still pushing forward, looking to move the cart up, get that cap here onto B. Then start the final stretch. Moving through the cathedral to try to get the finish here.
And you can see, again, one of these moments where they're trying to link these 2 ultimates together. Doesn't end up with a crazy line on the kill feed, doesn't end up with that moment that's going to be Twitch clipped, but it's still enough with those 2 ultimates pushing Spain into 2 different directions. It's enough to win the fight, and they're playing around these EMP setups, always trying to pair it with a different ultimate, and it works out in this case. Spain pushed away. They do have an ult advantage at the moment, but Australia is not giving up any ground. I like how aggressively forward Trill is playing right now. Just giving that cart essentially free push at the moment.
Yep. Just wants to zap away as well, build up for that Primal. He's still a ways away. But can go ahead and get that very rapidly. Huss finds the opening kill there. Harry Hook going to be dying. And then they follow up. They're just spilling forth here. The kills for Australia as they swiftly find 3. Twill will be traded out, but now Momentum, Bobby Fresh, all going to be going down. The effective team wipe coming through as Harry just now respawns. Australia can just steamroll through this final stretch.
And this is on the back of Huss once again finding Harry Hook and calling out to Trill. Let's dive this guy. Trill was playing far forward on the high ground because he knew that if Huss finds a target, they're going to collapse on it and kill it. Huss finds it, they make it happen. Now he's again in a great spot, giving that information over to Team Australia. Does get detected here, of course. They're going to toss self-destruct.
Throw it into the back. He might have the angle to make it through the doorway. Try to find some additional kills. They will be able to get Bromas. Barrage coming down from CKM. Not going to be finding anything here as Huss just holds on to the EMP, waiting for an opportunity.
Spain just cannot actually regroup right now. They're getting cut off by these rockets, by these self-destructs. They're not able to get a 6-man out of this point.
Okay, Transcendence comes down. They're going to have the rally on top of that one. Line Pro offering up that armor to everybody else. Minute and 10 on the clock here for Australia as Trill goes ahead and pops up Primal Rage. Punk falling low, almost out of the mech. CKM takes down the mess, however. Picks up that. Now more shots coming in. Looking for the Brigida, just hovering in over the top. Bobby Fresh trying to build up for the EMP, and Harry Hook from the side finds that.
It's going to cost him his life, though.
Forces out the res, and as you say, Huss will go ahead and take him down. Park just in front of the completion here. As Spain tries to gain something back, tries to find some ground to stand on to stop this completion from coming through for Australia. 40 seconds remaining. They can just try to drain down the clock, at least maybe force that OT, if not hold them off. As we see the swaps coming through.
Bobby Fresh nearly at the CMP. It could be so useful to stop this.
And sound barrier, so he's going to be staying alive for this one. Self-destruct comes in from Mass, finds one. CKM will go down right after he takes out the enemy Winston. Bobby Fresh tosses out the EMP, but no follow-up kills coming through for the side of Spain yet. Still just duking it out, and Huss has his own EMP.
The combo.
Throw it in. That's going to be the self-destruct coming down, and Punt will find one as Line Pro falls. Bromas knocked out of the mech as well. And Australia, with these kills coming through right at the end.
They're just looking for overtime.
Should be able to get this. They get the finish there on the networks, trying to delay as much as they possibly can, but they will be able to get this, you would think, with some time in the bank, but now they're going to be holding point 22 away. OT, I can't tell if it even came through.
That's actually exactly what they were looking for, was the OT. We'll get a confirmation on that in just a moment, but delaying that push
maybe
repeatedly.
0.1 seconds.
Yeah, well, delaying that push, 0.3. Okay.
0.3 seconds remaining.
So delaying that push as far as possible, as late as possible, try to get that overtime. Unsuccessful with 0.3 of a second. But again, the way we are seeing Australia operate around Huss's Sombra is absolutely incredible. Now we're watching Huss find these openings, find the Zenyatta, find the backline heroes, or again, hacking the mainline tank networks so that we can see this collapse. And it's basically they're running this comp that's pick-oriented before ultimates are ready. Then, when the ultimates are ready, they're trying to either get a barrage or a self-destruct out of these EMPs. And sometimes it hasn't lined up perfectly for Australia. It's very difficult to actually find that perfect rhythm when you're in your opening match here, you know. But they've been really good at least forcing Spain with these ultimates used in conjunction with each other off of the point, regaining control of choke points, for example. And that's what's been working really well for Australia, but still no time bank essentially here through 0.3 seconds.
I mean, but it's much better than not having any time bank at all. So they at least finish with something on the board. But
and Spain,
a lot of give and take here, a lot of stop and start for Australia. Such a strong kickoff to this map. Get that instant count the first push there onto A. Spain really slowed them down. They were able to kind of grind their gears a little bit to a halt.
So yeah, and Spain basically showed us some more depth on that defense. Running the Tracer, for example, it was not just straight up, you know, quad tank, double support, goats as they call it, or triple support, triple tank, whatever you want to call Brigade.
There's a lot of things.
But Spain now is running that comfort pick for them, right? They're running this to try to take A. Australia does not have a Junkrat in the set. They do not have an Orisa. They're going to have to rely once again on Huss, but this time he's not going to be able to get that pick onto Harry Hook like he was earlier. So this is going to be very difficult. It's a bad matchup for Australia with the comp they chose for the defense here.
And the Genjin, even if he can build up that blade, getting through the tanky members of Spain could prove to be a little bit difficult, especially if they can get that rally online and have that extra armor on top of the
Bio grenades are everything too.
Yeah.
Like if a Crockett can get a big one, that's how they win these fights really easily. Nice wraparound here.
Yeah, right into the backside. Now going to plop themselves down in onto the point. Charge forward coming through from the tanks as they dive in. Australia taking the fight over to Spain. It's just going to be spraying away, looking to build up for an EMP. If he can get one in this fight, that could shut them down. This drill just keeps zapping.
Yeah,
Bar, one tick going to be surrendered.
Australia just can't trade up against this. They don't have the sustainability they need.
Trill going so low. Punk as well on the side. Nearly knocked out of that mech. One final shot. Will go ahead and finish it off. Poppy Fresh finds that opening. Now just the Baby Diva going to be spraying away, and Trill is going to be gone. There is no front line here for Australia. Now there's no Sombra. EMP be damned. It just looks like it's not going to do a whole lot of anything. CKM gets a play, finds one, but he needs so much more, and Harry Hook is just going to smack him in the mouth. Takes him down, and now Kraken will join him. Australia crumbling here on this defense. This is what they need to be very strong. Try to deny the finish, or at least a time bank away from Spain. And so far, not so good.
And, you know, this is just about mounting yourself on the point. That's essentially what Spain did. They wrapped around, they got into that choke point where you could deny bio grenades with both the barrier from Networks and Bromas's defense matrix, and Australia needed a big bio grenade to win that point, to trade up with a Mercy and an Ana versus triple support essentially on the side of Spain. Did not happen. Good denies on the grenades, and now Spain has an ult advantage. They have the rally pop, they have the extra armor.
Self-destruct, not going to find anything. Doomfist comes through. Huss finding that first hit there on the Networks, but not going to be able to get the kill. And now they just push forward, looking to finish him off. And he will get taken down, but Mass finds that hit. Earth Shadow now going to be online. Sound barrier invested from Spain as they try to keep this card rolling steady. Rez comes out. Doomfist back into the fight. As they go ahead, charge forward, trying to take down Custa. He falls dangerously low. Will not be taken out, and just to stay alive here. And it's just an all-out brawl breaking out here on top of the card. Grab comes down, locking him up. 3 members going to be locked in here. Kraken going to be the first one to fall, and Huss will get taken down by that self-destruct. CKM pops that barrage, finds one on the line, bro. Manages to stay alive here, has the pocket coming out of Custa. So still going to be in the mix, still going to be a threat, but not really finding any follow-up kills. And as I say that, I will go ahead and cast the curse him. CKM taken down. Australia suffering loss after loss as the cart keeps pushing forward.
I think this is actually not too bad for Australia because Spain had to use a ton of ultimates for this. They didn't gain much distance. So Australia can actually have time for that Meteor Strike to come through to contest actual point B. They're going to have the Wrecking Ball to try to set up for that. As you can see, Trill is just trying to sneak around the other side. The Meteor Strike is going to be ready in just a second, so he can use this as an escape and a re-engage. Here he goes.
Oh, yep, dropping down. Sees the Ryan, he's trying to track him. Drops his way in, and Networks will get taken down.
Very well played.
Hit there from Huss, showing patience with that ultimate, and now it's going to be cleanup time here for Australia, getting the cart halted right in front of point B.
This is so well done.
Yeah, Harry Hook also popping his ultimate a bit too late onto that one to try to keep everybody really sustained in the fight. So now we're going to be losing that nice little tool. Spain looking to change things up.
And this is, I mean, really, really well played by Australia. They knew they had the advantages. They knew Meteor Strike was almost ready. They communicated, for this one moment, I need you to play Wrecking Ball, buy some time on this point, help disrupt the comp that Spain is running. And yes, as you say, they have to change it up a little bit here. Networks going now onto the Winston for extra mobility. Yep. They have the grab ready. Nothing really huge to pair with it, but a bio grenade could be nice.
We'll see, spraying away. CKM front above the barrage, but the defense matrix is there. Goes ahead and chews up all of that damage, and he will get taken down, but Harry Hook is going to be swamped out, so now no Ana, not going to have that nano boost. Sound barrier comes in, keeps Poppy and Fresh barely alive and in the fight. But the strike up the top, not going to find anything, but Punk makes it back into the mech. The grab comes out, they lock up Huss on his lonesome, take him down, and Romas finds the kill with the self-destruct there on the Trill. So still good openings, Costa dashing to the side, trying to keep Punk sustained, maybe even look for a res opportunity, but he's not going to find it. Networks is able to take him down, and Poppy Fresh will be exchanged out. Doc pushing forward. Gonna go ahead and amp things up. Punk falls down to half. Just trying to knock him out of the mech. They will be able to do so. Huss gonna be slipped, I do believe, as he rejoins here onto the cart. Had that Meteor Strike available.
Rally's out.
That's not popped in. The kill still coming through. Meteor Strike comes down. They boop him away. 3.15 meters left to go here for Spain to go ahead and get that nice little extra bit of time into the bank. And they will find it. 3:15 on the clock to go to this. It's a complete Blizzard World.
Australia used a ton of ultimates here and a lot of resources, plus the staggered deaths here. And sometimes it's worth it. Sometimes you can force an overtime. Sometimes you can force that contest to burn through a minute of time, 30 seconds of time. Those are huge time buys, but Australia doesn't get that. They use a lot of ultimates. It was very expensive what they just did. And so Spain, yeah, they lost maybe 10, 15 seconds there on the defense, but what they gained was something that was so much greater. They have another rally set up here, and Australia lost that EMP. That's the big tool that they use that's not going to be available now.
Can build that one up rapidly depending on his positioning. Zap coming down here from Networks, has the Primal online. Good for a pick maybe there. Onto a Kraken.
Yep, and he's all alone
back
here.
Out. Ana's going to be all on his lonesome. That's going to be the primal range actually committed here. Finds the kill, and now Bromas is going to get taken down. Custa with that self-destruct. No supports in the fight here for Australia. No way to keep Trill alive. He will go down. Punk will get knocked out of the mech. Has the self-destruct, but just needs to hold the hell onto that one. Needs it for that last-ditch fight as the cart keeps plowing forward here for Spain.
Yeah, and, you know, honestly, this is going to be great for them timing-wise if they can win just one more consistent fight. Huss, as he switched over the Sombra, only 50% of that EMP right now, and that's going to be the big tool they want to have for the contest.
Yeah.
So he needs to make sure that he builds that up in just a moment here. He's trying to get this pick onto Harry Hook, potentially.
If they had that to couple with the barrage, that would be absolutely huge here for Australia with this defense. Huss pops over to the side, finds Punk fresh, takes him down. Nice little elimination to start things off. CKM trying to find the barrage, but yet again the defense matrix is going to be there from Bromas to go ahead and deny away the damage, but now he's still fighting. He's still firing off those rockets, trying to find a pick. A minute and 35 is what remains on the clock here for Spain, as they are so close.
EMP is almost ready.
Rockets still coming down. CKM desperately trying to build up for another one. Harry Hook gonna get caught out. Both supports collapsing onto the Ana, and they manage to take him down. But Punk gonna be exchanged here as Line Pro pops him.
And this is so huge.
Fresh is gonna be eliminated. Line Pro finds another one, gets rid of the Baby Diva, and they just keep duking this one out. EMP online for Huss. Has not had to use it yet. Wants to wait maybe for the rest of the supports to join in. Self-destruct up from Bromas. Finds one on the CKM. Australia still trying to hold on as Trill pops that primal rage to try to stay alive, but he has to get over onto the cart. 1.38 meters remaining with a minute on the clock. Spain, can they finish this one, or can Australia pull off a massive defensive victory?
Well, they're going to hold it for now. Huss being able to hold his EMP in that initial skirmish was actually, you know, where I was yelling, that's huge, because he saves it, gets to use it to set up for the next engage, which is part of the reason why Trill was able to get so much done there with the Winston. The problem being that now he doesn't have it, but he's bought so much time, he's burned through so much of that time bank. Poppy Fresh going to look to engage with this, especially finding the backline supports would be huge. Kraken, the target here.
Yeah, jumps his way in, has the Winston to back him up. The pocket coming down from Custa to keep Kraken alive. Tosses out the nano boost. Certain who it's on here at the moment as Trill gets locked up into the back by the Brigida. Cart starting to inch forward yet again, getting dangerously close here for Spain with 18 seconds remaining, and now Trill's going to be going down. Punk does have that self-destruct, but he would need a massive pick-off here in order to turn things around, but he doesn't even get to invest the ultimate.
Yeah, here comes the big barrage here.
EMP dropped in, CKM's there. Barrage comes down, finds two. Bromas going to be knocked out, Line Pro dead. CKM barely managing to stay alive. The pocket coming down from Custa, keeping him in the fight, and now we're into OT. Spain trying to get this completion desperately onto the map. Australia looking to tie things up 1-1. Rocket's still coming down right now unhindered. Is this Farah? Self-destructs in, and Punk finds two. Harry Hook and Networks both going to be going down. Trill finds another one with the primal rage. That's going to be three. Make it four as Bromas gets knocked out and eliminated by CKM. And that should be the defense coming down for Australia. An absolutely great hold from them. They drain it down, they tie it up 1-1.
Incredible play by Huss. Again, on the attack and on the defense, he was the playmaker, and he clearly is sharing so much information with his squad. And what Custa's able to do with that information and making the shot calls happen is why Australia is able to tie this up. And Huss either on the attack trying to identify where Harry Hook is standing, where the Brigade is, knowing that the stun's not available to stop a dive coming through from Trill, for example, there after he's already put Harry down to half health. Those are the big plays on the attack he's made. But on defense, patient play, holding the EMP, looking for the best moment to trade up with that, not for the easy kills, but actually for the bigger picture. And it was just two big time buys that they got there that bought them the ability to take that big fight in the end to guarantee the win, not just to burn down the time bank there for Spain, but to win the map. And that is exactly what they are able to do. So very impressive stuff here from Team Australia, and this is kind of what I expected. We knew that on a control map where Spain gets to play their comfort and Australia's working on, you know, the counter there, becomes a little bit more difficult. But when Australia gets to play their style, they get to play the dive, they get to play the Sombra, where finding those backline picks onto a Zen, where there's high ground and low ground, wide open map, it's way easier to play that style. You can't really run that against a tank comp that's just sitting on a point, right? And you can't get in there. How are you ever going to pick Harry in situations like that? So very much a different map here we saw. An
absolute brawl coming through there on Blizzard World. I mean, concerns for both sides, you know, coming out, but in the end, Australia do manage to tie this up 1-1, so making this a much more competitive series so far. So all tied up. Maybe we can get that tiebreaker, but before we get into that, before we get into our third map, we're going to go ahead and throw over to Mika on the floor for an interview.
We are here with Custa from Team Australia. We're all tied up 1-1, couple of close maps, but you guys are looking pretty good. What do you have to do with your team to guarantee you take this series and continue on just kicking butt?
First map, it was pretty obvious. We're very nervous. A lot of the guys on stage just we weren't doing the things that we usually do. Spain also played differently than what we were expecting, so we're really just trying to focus on calming down and executing our game plan. I got better towards the end at Blizzard World, but it still needs to get better.
And as you said, you're calming down, you're starting to really get into the groove of things. Is your confidence really up? Are you feeling that you can just take this easily, or it's going to be a little bit of a fight?
Even after the first map, everyone was pretty confident. It was just the little things that we just weren't doing. So everyone's pretty excited, pumped up. It's just going to be about coming back from this halftime just better than we were before, because we need to execute in these last 2 maps.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you guys are all from Australia, but how have you been enjoying Thailand so far? Have you had anything fun? Have you seen any exotic animals?
We actually haven't had much time to do anything fun. Goomba makes sure that we don't get to do anything fun or exciting. So. But it's been great hanging out with the guys. We're having a great time. Unfortunately, Kraken got a little sick, but he's much better today.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad that you guys are all feeling good and having a good time. We are going to take a quick break, but you're going to want to stick around because we have more awesome Overwatch action right after the break.